What's up, guys? Welcome to 12M Hustle. How you guys doing today? It's Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope everything was good. Welcome to 12M Hustle, the channel where we keep it real, the channel where we trade prop accounts, personal accounts, and I show you guys the real journey. No fluff, no foo-foos, and no gurus. Hope you guys having a blessed Monday, but let's get into it, okay? Here we go. So, it is Monday, all right, July 21st, 2025. And here are our accounts that we're working on. Bada boom, bada bang. We got Tradeify accounts up. I don't have my Top Step account anymore. I ended up blowing that last week. That's fine. I kind of just don't really like the eval phase, so I like straight to funded. So here it is, 152, 152, 151, and 151. We are taking these nice and slow. We're working them up. Don't rush. Then we do have a live accounts, live with the real money in the brokerage. So we're doing a small little account challenge as well. So that one we'll only set up for prime days, prime setups. I can tell you straight off the bat, today does not look like a prime day for me to be using my brokerage, which is Ninja Trader, because we are not under previous day high, and we're not above previous day high, and we're not below previous day low. So today we do not have news at all, by the way. Okay, if you guys check out my Twitter page, 12M Hustle, I post daily levels from the previous day high, previous day low for YM, ES, NQ, and oil, as well as I also post news for the week. So we got the jams in the back. We're about to kill it. Let's get it. But yeah, open's about to happen. Here's the game plan that I'm looking at so far. Looks like over Friday we had a nice little, shorts, had a nice little fun day. But then looks like we came back up. Asia, we kept grinding back up, and we filled the gap back up. So overall, what I am looking for, it looks like we're stuck in a range between 23,330 and 23,170. We're stuck in that range, on the NQ. So I am seeing that really clear. So this might get choppy, as well as we have some news happening this week. We have Google coming out with news. We have Tesla coming out with news, which is their earnings, basically. Earnings on both of those. So the market might be choppy today. We don't know. But I'm not expecting a lot, so my hopes are not really up there. And then I do use a trade copier. I can show you guys. Here's the trade copier that I use. Okay, Replicanto. And I use that basically to control my size and make sure I don't oversize on my accounts. So I connect it to the sim one here, and then you see the rest of my accounts. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. ES is doing the same thing. ES even has a bigger range between 6,357 and 6,320. So we got some huge ranges, but we're a minute away from the open. So we're gonna let the open happen, and then we're gonna keep it pretty chill. We got the coffee going. We got the Starbucks. But yeah, man, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Crazy stuff with that Coldplay stuff, huh, guys? Insane. But anyways, tip is, I guess you shouldn't cheat on your wife. But yeah, so it looks like we gapped. We gave the move on the week on Friday, and then we've pretty much gone back up. So at this point, we're either going to make another low back to 23,170 and break in free fall, or we're going to keep making all new time highs. So it's time to wait and see. But I'm going to wait for the open. Open's a minute away. We're going to wait for that to pop off, and then we'll see what's up. So there's the open. There it is. I literally have an alarm for the open at 6:30. The open has just happened. We're getting a push. It's still pushing. We're letting it push. Like I said, I'm not chasing nothing. I tend to be getting smoked every time I've been chasing lately, but we're gonna let it push. Also, if you're using opening range strategy, I do use it as well, sometimes mixed with my own strategy off of the 30 seconds. So 30 seconds to pass, or off the 1 minute as well sometimes. So waiting for that. Yeah, but y'all make sure to get your coffee in. But overall, I'm kind of more bullish than I am short feeling today. But Let's see. Get your coffee in, guys. Get your cup of joe in. Okay, there it is. There's opening range. See if we push. We've set a nice little opening range, 23, 285 to 23, almost 255. So nice push on that. Time to see if we want to continue the push or go down. So I'm just waiting. Waiting to see. Okay, we decided to push. So we will take a long here and see if we're going to continue to break above London. All right. I'll probably add to this if we get above this previous high here, which is 23,305. Let's see, buy. So we get above here, I will, join into a winning trade. If not, then we can take our first L of the day. Well, I don't really take them as losses. I take them as expenses. So, yeah, I'm going to let it push. ES looks like it's pushing as well. ES looks like it wants to go. Like I said, this is a nice little push here. ES has to push. I'm waiting for that push. ES is chilling at pretty much pushed Asia high and is just hanging out. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. And take off for a scalp. Okay, so I just took that off for a quick little scalp. Okay. Let's see if we can maybe get a pullback. Let's see if we can get a pullback, get in on a pullback, get into right here. If not, then they can go without us. That was a quick little scalp. It is only 6:33, so only 3 minutes into the market. So now I'm just going to let it, I'm going to chill for about 5 minutes. I want to see. Good little green there. Oh shit, I actually went on my live too. Oops. That's funny. That's funny. I had it connected to my live account. Ha! That's hilarious. Little $8 there. Okay, cool. I'll take it. But I want to see another push. ES looks like it's chilling. ES has not gone above London high. Let's see. I'm waiting. Okay. High money. Let's see if we get it. Here we go. Let's see if ES wants to. Looks like NQ is leading this morning. It looks like NQ wants to hit previous day high, which is 23,320. So we'll actually put a target there. This is previous day high. I'll show you guys. So previous day high is literally right here. So the question is the market going to push and push above London high and continue the push to previous day high? Or is it going to come back down and squander for the day? So like I said, I don't expect much. Big reason meaning is we do have earnings coming up this week and we have all this news. So my expectations are pretty low, right? Another reason I'm not really sizing, I'm just letting it go. Another thing is I suck at longs. I really do. And the reason I'm really horrible at them is because it takes forever for them to go. So what I tend to do is I tend to always miss the bigger move on the longs. On the shorts, it's easier because it just straight slams down. But all good in the hood. So we're going to let that go. Looks like it's going to push up on London. ES is helping as well. Let's see. And it is Monday, so I am keeping it light. I hate starting the week with a hella big loss, so I'm just taking quick little chunks, and it works for my strat. Now, there you go. See, looks like it wants previous day high for sure. ES is helping as well. Okay, very nice. Now let's see if we can get a bigger push. Let's see if we can get it to push to 23,320. There it is. There it is. There's the push we wanted. We've gotten it, just tapped previous day high. So now we can either continue the push or go to our previous. There you go. See? Okay. Very nice. Very nice push. And we can leave one for the road there because we should continue the push. ES, because ES has not gotten to previous day high. So NQ should push, continue to push. And I do believe we are above all-time highs again. This is crazy. This market's insane. So I'm going to let it keep going up for sure. Look at that. But we did tap all-time high. And I'm actually going to close this one. Okay, so I'm good. I'm good there. I want to see what happens now. Don't want to short up here. We did tap previous day high. I don't believe I have any more targets up here. So when we get to like this blue sky area where it's like we have no more targets up there, no more, right, pull from the market, I don't like to either long or short right now because that's the move right there. I mean, I got a okay win on it because I didn't slam the size because I just don't feel comfortable at all-time highs. I'm not that good of a trader at all-time highs. I'm better level to level, and that's probably because I come from small caps. But so my expectations today, like I said, were pretty slim. But we're at 638, so now I'm just gonna chill and wait. And if I do want a long, I'm gonna have to wait for a better entrance than that. So I just pulled that off. And that just comes with time in the market where you kind of just feel it. So pullback is nice. If we could get a pullback maybe back into right here, 23,277, then which would be your London, what is that? Pretty much your London low of last Friday. So yeah, I don't want to continue to long up here. This boner candle, what ends up usually happening sometimes is if you long, it can continue to push, or it could push and then whoop, go back down. But it is squeezing the shorts right now for sure. Shorts are definitely getting squeezed because shorts have their stops here. Another thing about it is shorts have their stops here. People, longer time frame traders had their stop here from last week, right? So let's say their stop was at 23,320. They just got their ass smoked, right? Their stop just got hit. So when a lot of stops get hit, what usually happens is it pushes up. It's like small cap. Also small cap trader for 2 years during 2020, 2021. And literally people will have their stops and it's going to get run. And when they run it up further than you think, harder than you think. So, like I said, I'm not going to chase this. This is cool. Let me show you guys this. This is what we made from it. Like I said, I kept size was really, really light. I guess I had it connected to my live account. That's fine. To my own personal account. So, quick little $8, right? Pretty much paid for Starbucks today. Free Starbucks. But yeah, you can see that right there. See? I kept it really light. I don't want to chase it. Another thing is, it's really hard to get to the point where you can just sit here and be like, well, that's it. The move's going out without me. I don't have any more price targets up here. I don't have any more levels, right? So here's my trading view that I use for charting. See, look, right? I have no more levels. So you smacked on, you took Asia high, you smacked down, you took London high. So at this point, my entrance was down here. I got to my target. That's it. Like, that is the move. That is the trade. You know, I'm not gonna push a trade if I don't have it. I'm hella not shorting up here because I'm not really a reversal trader. But when I do take reversal trades, they're definitely not at all-time high or blue skies. Blue skies basically means there's no levels. See that? These are my trades from last week. Did you guys see that? Like, last week I longed and I got stopped out up there, and then I had to short. But this is what I'm talking about. So we've made all-time high. Boom, not higher, high, right? Lower, low, higher. So we're in a bull trend, right? Overall, we can get small micro pullbacks, but in the bigger picture, this is a bull trend, right? So there's no reason for me to short up here unless I want to blow the hell up. Yeah, this can continue to push and push and push. We might not get a pullback. That might be the only trade of the day. Like, I'm actually about to switch that account to another one. So that might be that's it. I didn't even know I had it connected to my live account, to my personal brokerage. But it's all good. Nice little W. You know, this thing is pushing. I don't want to long up here. When I was new to trading, I did. I would long up there and then get smacked. I'm gonna gap down. I ain't doing all that. About to sit here, drink my coffee, eat myself a pico. So a pico is a nicaragüense bread, which is really good, by the way. Damn, the market is on crack. I for sure missed that play, but that's fine. I'm not chasing shit. Yeah, that's when you know you've made it as a trader. You know you've made it when you can sit there and be like, cool, things going up without me. Cool. I'll be another trade tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So. The funny thing is, ES is just way slower than NQ today, for sure. So I'll show you guys ES. Look at this. So you guys saw NQ, right? NQ slammed over previous day. ES is doing this shit, which is not really confident of. It should continue to push. It should break through London high and it should push, but it's doing this slow ass push, right? If ES decides to do a double top up here and slam for the sell, then NQ will follow. So I always have ES up with NQ, even though I don't trade ES a lot, but I do have it up because I'm for sure watching it, for sure watching it. So, but yeah, all good. Just gonna chill and watch. Trading is a lot of boring ass just watching. You get paid to sit on your hands, drink a coffee, eat your bread, and watch. Let me turn off this light real quick. There we go. That's much better. But, yep. So, today's, that's 6. So 6:45 just hit on. Maybe we get a pullback, maybe we don't, but that's all good. Hope you guys are loving the jams. Jams just help me out. Chill. Keep chill. Oof. The market is pushing nasty. What the hell? Insane. For sure that's a miss. But, like I said, I ain't chasing shit. Not happening. Not giving it into the dopamine. Wow. That's a crazy push. Yeah, that's a nasty push. Great shout out to every trader that got that and held that with some size. There we go. Now the ES has just joined the party. ES just pushed at all-time high. ES just pushed through previous day. Wow. Insane market we're in. Crazy. We should call this the crack market, where shit just goes bananas. Yeah, that's a nasty long. For sure, I'm working on my longs, but that was sick. Yeah, I'm definitely not just gonna start slamming on trades, but whew, what a slam. So as you guys saw, the trade idea was good. We just didn't hold on to it. We just took a quick scalp. But that was a really good trade there. Yeah, they were in a hurry this AM. I don't see them push to previous day high that early in the morning at 6:47 within the first 17 minutes of the market opening. So nasty ass pushes. Nasty. Our next hat. Oh, we actually have the Top Step hat. Let me show you guys. So, you got the 5K Top Step hat. If you're a real trader and you make real profits, you end up getting Top Step funded 5K club basically. So, on one of my previous accounts last year, I ended up making like 10 G's and boom. So, I got one of those sent out to me. Which, I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. Top Step is legit. Top dog in the game. But they've definitely changed some things this year. Which is a little different. They put caps, payout caps on their accounts. If they see that you're making too much money, they'll drop you down to their trader plan, which means they only give you one account. 50K, DD's like $2,000. So. Which means they don't want to switch you to live, but they just want you to, control how much you can make from them. So, which is understandable. I get it. It's a business. A business is a business. So all good. But yeah, shout out to all the traders that got a nasty trade on that. That's it. That's sick stuff, guys. All right. I don't like sitting down for too long. Got the golf shirt on because I see every trader golfs now. So funny, I go on Twitter and everyone's golfing. It's like everybody wants to be Tiger Woods. It's hilarious. I remember when nobody was into golf. Now everybody's like, I want to golf. Golf is life. Funny shit. All right, guys. So we are at let's see what we're looking at here. Right, it is 6:50. We are at all-time highs. Right, all-time highs for the NQ. We're at all-time highs for the ES. Right, we put nasty pushes off the open. Right, we've made back the whole gap sell we had on Friday. We're in an overall bull trend for the year, basically, at this point. So, I mean, at this point, if you were shorting, you got smacked, right? You got smacked and slammed. If you were short off last week and you were holding and you didn't take those profits, smacked, right? So, it's just to remember, like, this market will switch on a dime, Like, you could think the market is bullish. Next thing you know, it goes straight to bear. You think it's bear, it goes to bullish. Like, the market's always right and you're always wrong. So, Leave the ego at the door. That's my tip to all the new traders out there. Keep that chip on your shoulder because you never know. But market seems like it's pulling back a little bit down here. We don't have levels up here. There's R2 pivots that I have up here that are possible resistance areas, but my ass ain't gonna short because it decided to hit 23,390 and be like, yeah, that's not a level I've ever been to. Let me short right here. Yeah, that's not happening. So it can continue to do whatever the hell it wants. I'm not interested. Probably not until we get at least tap London high of 23,309. If we can tap this, then I'm Gucci, right? If we can tap, ES 63.54, then I'm good. But we ain't tapping that. I'm actually about to look at oil real quick. Let me look at oil because at this point, we are not looking so hot for me to be joining this market. But oil, oh yeah, oil's actually low. It's breaking down pretty good. Looks like oil is making lower lows, lower highs. Yeah, looks like the oil's been on a full-on sell-off mode since Friday, and it's continued to sell off. So oil looks like a nice little sell-off there, but that's cool. Oil's looking pretty good for anyone out there trading oil. Looks like it's selling off. RTY is slow as shit. That's the Russell, by the way. And let's look at Bitcoin for all my Bitcoin peeps out there. Bitcoin is at 119. Bitcoin is wild. So it's a couple thousand, 2,000 away from all-time highs again. So, but Bitcoin seems like it's cooperating pretty well. It's going up. And we got that Dow Jones. Let's look at the Dow Jones, guys. Dow Jones is definitely hasn't done shit this morning compared to the ES. Dow Jones is, and I'll show you guys. So, because I'm not jumping in a trade right now, but Dow Jones is right here. And if you guys see this, it is literally not doing squat, right? It's not doing squat. It's literally hanging out between 44,631. You got all-time highs up here, right? You got previous day low down here, and the Dow decides that today is the day, it just hangs out and doesn't do shit. So, kind of weird that ES is pushing, NQ is pushing, and Dow's like, yeah, nope, I'm just going to hang out down here, guys. So, always something to keep in mind. And then RTY, right? Doing the same thing, just hanging out between the big ass gap that we have from previous Friday, and then that's it. Bitcoin is on the program. This is Bitcoin, and it's feeling it. Bitcoin's like, yeah, let's do it. All-time highs, we're coming. So Bitcoin looks like it's on the program, and then we have oil. Oil's on the program of I'm about to sell and keep selling. So gas better get cheaper then, right? See, oil just keeps going down, down, down. So oil seems to be going down. That's it. So I just want to share that with you guys. But back to the NQ. NQ is just chilling right here. Yeah, like I said, my expectations for today were pretty low, so I wasn't really expecting much. So maybe why I didn't size up that much. Probably could have, though, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is what real trading's like. Not the furus that just show you guys, billions of dollars, millions of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? They show that they've made it before they got to the screen. Or they're, my favorite is so here's a trick I'll tell you guys about on prop firms, right? Not that I use them, but everybody else. All the furus that got like 50,000 views, what they'll do, and Tradeify, if you're listening to this, like I said, I don't do that. You can check my trades. But what they'll do is they'll go short, right? let's say this account, and they'll go long in the other account on evals, and that's the gimmick of how mostly all these fruiters pass evals hella fast. They'll go short, long, and long on one or the other, and they'll pass in one day. And they'll do that on an Apex account, and then they'll do it on, if they Apex, they'll do it that way. If they want to do Top Step, the way to cheat on that is they'll go ahead and do the same thing, long and short, and then they'll go halfway, and then try to make the other half on their own, and then that way they don't have to make half of it. That's another way. I think they call it arbitrage. I don't know what they call it, but that's one way people cheat. Another way people cheat is they do the same thing on funded accounts, but they do it in between the props. So let's say they're short on Tradeify and they're long on Top Step. What they'll do is they'll go full contracts, and they'll be like, all right, I'm long on Top Step, of course, if you have 100K, I'm long 3 minis, and they're like, I'm long 3 minis on Tradeify, and then they'll make 4,500, and then as soon as it goes up, they're in the money, and then they'll just do 200 days of 4 days of 200, and they'll get paid out, and they'll be like, look at me, and then they'll show you guys the wins, but they won't show you the blunt account. So that's the way they do it. And that way is still done. That's a very popular way they do it, because I do know Mike Patat is trying to change that with making like a syndicate where they can see the data, they can see your IP address and stuff like that. So they're trying to crack down on that, so that doesn't get done. I don't really care. I don't do it. So, and then the straight to funded is what people will do, is they'll do the same thing, straight to funded. But the thing about straight to funded is you have a 20% consistency. So you can do it and get away with it if you, let's say you shoot up, you make 5,000, and then usually it becomes a static account on TickTick, becomes a static account after 156K, and on Tradeify it becomes a static account after 159, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So once it's the static account, the trailing drawdown end of the day is no longer following you. So that's one way to get through it. Yeah, there's a lot of ways, a lot of these Furus traders you guys see online do it. So, but here we do it the right way. We just trade. I know, so hard, right? You just trade. You actually trade. Crazy to think you actually trade. But yeah, I'm not gonna shout out any names because I don't feel like getting sued. But in the meantime, so market's pulling back, getting a nice little pullback there. We hit 23,390, which we have no level up there. We hit 63.36 on ES, no level up there. So see if the market wants to pull back and give an entrance for a long, which is what I would look for here. I wouldn't short this until probably, I literally wouldn't short this till under 23,250 if I want to short. I'm not shorting up here. After that, I'm just gonna wait. It's hanging down between 23 to 372, and it's just chilling. So you got to get buyers to come in and keep pushing, or you got to come back down where people are willing to buy, right? I don't have VWAP on this chart, but VWAP is somewhere down at 23,296. So this can just continue to go up. I don't like the risk and reward up here at all. I'm not going to, and I don't want to jump in it. I just don't when it comes off. These levels are new. This is new territory for the market. So knowing that, I'm not about to just put my foot in my mouth and be like, yeah, let's do it, or train myself to get the dopamine hit, right? Because you can do it 9 times in trading, but that 10th time if you do it, because you got lucky the other times, you're gonna blow up basically. And that's the hardest thing in trading. Now, markets pushed above resistance to the next possible target that you can get, and this is just based off pivots, no levels that we have. The next target is 540 on the market. That's your next level that the market can go to, right? So if it goes up there, it probably could. Market's on crack right now, so yeah. Like I said, I'm not really an all-time high type of trader. It's not my cup of tea. I can trade, but there's 30 markets I'm better at trading, and I'm more of a short trader. And then long, I'm better when we have levels we can risk off on our longs. Here, I feel like the only level you could risk off if you're long, you would go long here, and you're risking this. You're risking 2310 at least as a safe level to have as a stop for if you're long up here. So you're gonna risk 90, 100 points, give or take. But that's a possible trade you could do. Yeah, crazy. I didn't think the market was going to push that up today, for sure. I know we have earnings this week, but dang it. So another big reason that could happen is the market likes to push this way before we have big news, and then it loves to give the moves back. So just keep that in mind. But yeah. I mean, you got your points for the day off the opening range. So your opening range was, like I said, that 23,287, right? 23,287, which is down here. So if you long that with some nice size, right? If you're a big boy, you're using minis, you long that. This was a huge push, right? 23 all the way up to 23. At least if you got this extra, you got over 100 points. So you made your money for the day. So. Which is not bad. Yeah, I mean, market is going up pretty good. We get them jams going for you guys. Yeah, I mean, this could be the grind up, the grind to just hella grinding. So 7:30 is coming up. I'm pretty much thinking I'm done for the day because I'm not fucking up here. Yeah, NAS is pumping today. Huge pump. Pump it. We pumping, yeah, we pumping, yeah, we pumping, yeah, we pumping. Nice pump for sure. What a move. That move is so fast. Yeah, that's a nice move that we had there. Yeah, market's on crack. Let's see. Yeah, I don't feel like chasing this shit. I just don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't see a pullback. I don't think we're getting a pullback at all. That sucks. For sure, that sucks. Yeah, what a nasty, nasty push. Nasty, nasty push. Nasty, nasty push. I thought we would have got some type of pullback by now, but the market is saying hell nah. Market said not today, boy. Not today, not today. Not today, not today. Yeah, that's crazy. All time highs on a Monday. This is insane. Damn, market's still pushing. Straight crack. Oh, ES seems like it's wants to go down a little bit, but still waiting for a pullback. Yeah, big earnings coming up, so I'm curious to see if in earnings, if if we pull back or give some type of weakness. So curious to see that. But yeah, like I said, my expectations are pretty fucking low. So 7:10. We haven't even broke a 15-minute trend, so haven't even broke a 10-minute. I mean, you could take a small short up here if you broke a 10-minute, and I'm talking small short, right? Like you're risking biscuit for the biscuit, risk it for the biscuit there, right? So a short doesn't even look appetizing at this point. ES is giving a nice pullback. ES has broken 10-minute and broken a 3-minute. So ES is giving a better pullback than NQ. NQ is holding, for sure, holding a 15 and holding a 10. Shit, it's even holding a 3. Crazy, crazy market. Wild, wild, wild. The wild, wild west. Like I said, if you're going to try to fade this, careful trying to fade it, because there's no levels up here. And there's been so many times where I tried to fade shit in small caps, in stocks, in big caps, in futures, and I just gotten smoked, right? Because the market will continue to push further than your bank account. Yeah, this is the boring stuff of trading nobody talks about. You know, this is real trading where you just sit, chill, show up to the market for an hour or 2 hours. If nothing happens, you're like, cool, peace. And then you move on to the next day. So this is just how the market is. It's no guaranteed funds, that's for sure. You just gotta have that game plan. Yep, it seems like it wants to keep going. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting off at what time is it? 7:14. Yeah, 8 o'clock. I'm bouncing, calling it a day. So I'm just chilling, waiting to see if we get some type of pop, pop, pop. Oh, there we go. Maybe a little bit of a pullback here. Still haven't got a pullback. Yes, it's just doing a leg higher. Nope, still chilling. Yep, full euphoria. No pullback, zero pullbacks. Oh, there's a pullback. There we go. Getting a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, man. I mean, there's there's really no trades happening right now. Um, pretty boring for a Monday. You know, if you didn't get the trade off the thing, you didn't get the trade. Learning not to chase is the trick. Well, there you go. A little bit of a push. What a boring morning, guys. This is it's looking no good. Man, what the hell? Crazy, crazy moves. just chilling right now. Finish my bread. I'm just really just chilling. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably get off at 8 o'clock because I haven't took another trade since, what was that, 6:34. This market just keeps on pushing. ES is pushing. It's just going. It's going higher, higher. But like I said, I'm not chasing. Gotta get some of that H2O for show. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Shit is wild. All right. Where we at, guys? Where we at? Shit. We're still just grinding up. What a day. What a morning. For sure did not expect that on a Monday. It's not what I expected on a Monday. What you expect on a Monday? On a Monday. On a Monday. Yeah, for sure on a Monday. On a Monday. Oh, oops. My bad. On a Monday. On a Monday. Nope. Just chilling. Yeah, I mean 7:30. If we don't get some type of move, it's for show. Times to go. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like 5 more minutes and see if we get some type of move. I mean, I think we're done for the morning. It's just don't feel like there's too much going on here. Oops. Yep. 5 minutes. I'm about to bounce. Well, let's recap for the day, guys. Let's go over what we pretty much did this morning. Pretty much traded for an hour, right? So let's go over that. So game plan off we had, remember we talked about how we gapped off on Friday. Basically that's what happened is we did a huge sell-off on Friday, right? And then over pretty much today, over the night, we grinded up, a little bit of a dip, and then we just started slamming back up, right? So before open, we were already here, and then we smashed above Asia high, smashed London high, and then I don't think anybody expected it to go this high up, but it did. So we took a long basically kind of in here, and we got out right at our target, which was right here. So do I regret taking the trade? Nope. So we just missed out on an extra pretty much 100 points. That's fine. That wasn't the plan basically. So I took my money where I wanted, I was planning to take it, and that's it. So today was a great day. Didn't make too much money, just stuck to the plan, and that was it. Well, let me show you guys. Said size was very controlled today. Here it is. So live brokerage. There's my Tradeify, and I didn't even trade the rest of my accounts. So that's it. Bada boom, bada bing. That was pretty much an hour of trading, and I am done. So I'm not about to sit here all day and wait for the NQ to decide to give back a move or just hang out here all freaking morning because we have earnings this week. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is what trading looks like. This is real trading. This is no bullshit. This is what trading's about. Sometimes you just get one trade off. You get one trade. You get your target, and that's it. You don't go chasing because you want the dopamine or you want the W. You want it. Sometimes it's just one and done, and you move on to the next day. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another trade, and that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share it with your friends, all that good stuff, and have a good one. Peace.